What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. As always, it is me, Elisha Allison, and today we're going to talk about calories. What are calories? What does it mean when you're burning or storing fat from calories? All that good jazz. But this is kind of continuation of the six successful steps to a healthy lifestyle that I did earlier back. So we're going to go more in depth on each one of those steps. The first step was consistency, but we don't really need to go more in depth about that because it's pretty simple. Be more consistent so you can see those results of the diet you're on, no matter what diet you're on. If you're not consistent with it, it's not going to work. So with that being said, before we start, if you want to change the way you look, you change your body composition, see results, feel free to contact me. You can email me at elishallison37@gmail.com. You can DM me at Elisha_Allison_ on Instagram, or you can just simply come by the gym here in town called Aerofit, which they're building a new place, which is going to be sick. It's going to be huge. It doesn't look that big until you go in there and you realize how big it is, but yeah, just come by, ask for me, and I can get hooked up on programming, nutrition, or we can just do personal training together. So anyways, with that being said, let's get started on this video. So what the heck are calories? What is the big deal about them? Well, calories in versus calories out is the most basic way to lose weight. It is the only way, actually. Every diet you look at is going to have a calorie deficit. And we'll talk about that here in just a second. But what is a calorie? There are two types of calories. You have you can see that. You have a small calorie, which looks like cow, okay? These are not very known. And you have a large calorie, which looks like cow. Okay, so the two different types of calories. The small calorie is the amount of energy required to raise 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius. A large calorie is the amount of energy required to raise 1 kilogram of water 1 degree Celsius. So when we're talking about our everyday language and the back of food nutrition labels, that is the large calorie. Okay, that is what we use every day right here. Make sure you know that, understand that. So essentially 1 kcal, hope you can see that, is equal to 1,000 of these little small calories. So you can see where if you're doing the small calories, it would get it would be a huge math game. It would be insane. I can barely do the large calories. I can imagine what it would look like with these, a little small calories. But like I said, the calories on a nutrition label, they go by large calories or kilocalories. Okay, so what is a calorie? Let's see if I can find it. So, got a handy dandy sock here, so we're gonna erase this real quick. So what is a calorie? A calorie, or the kcal, is simply a unit of energy, okay? That's basically, you could go from that, but we're gonna go more in depth. But yeah, it is simply a unit of energy. That kind of looks like an M, but let's do that. So foods all have energy counts, right? Which is measured by how much energy items are stored in their chemical bonds. That energy is then released in digestion, which can be broken down and stored in other molecules for when our body needs to use them, okay? So there are a couple different things that your body uses these. Wow, it's a good catch, right? There are a couple different things that you use. So 10% goes towards digestion. 20% goes towards physical to be. And 70% helps support the basic functions of your organs and tissues. So this is your BMR, or your basal metabolic rate. Basically, the calories needed to survive. I hope you can see that. I don't even know if I need to be writing this, but for those who are visual learners or want something to look at, here you go. So when you eat food you're consuming, that energy is stored in chemical bonds, okay? It is stored within the protein, it's stored within the fats and carbohydrates of a food. That is what makes up the calories of each food. So our bodies are only capable of doing two things with these, okay? You either use them or you store them, okay? Which, as harsh as that sounds. So this is how it is used. Let's go ahead and rinse this again. This is how it's used. I'm getting tired, dang. So when we eat food, the food cannot just simply disappear. It will either be transformed or it will be burned, okay? So there are 4 different types of energy your body uses, okay? There is, let's just go over them right now. There's 4 different types. You have heat, you have electrical energy coming through your body, you have sound energy, and then you also have, this is the one that everyone is associated with, you also have, oh, see, that is not working. You also have kinetic energy, which is movement, okay? So these 4 types of energy means that you're burning. You have to do this to burn. So what happens if you don't burn it? You store it. It's as simple as that. That is why we get calories in versus calories out. This is just the most basic thing, right? Calories in versus calories out. So, yeah, that's the most basic thing to dieting. So if you are eating more than what you're burning, you're gonna gain weight. If you're eating the same amount as you're burning, you're gonna stay the exact same way. If you're going to lose weight, you need to be eating less than what you're burning. I can't even stress that enough. That is as simple as it gets. We oftentimes overcomplicate things. Now there is times where you have to look at, am I eating enough to fuel for that, right? But if you're at a calorie deficit, eventually over time, your body is gonna burn that fat and you're gonna lose weight. So, with that being said, I cannot stress this either. Do not starve yourself, okay? You just don't want to do it. We need to fuel for fat loss. We don't need to starve for fat loss. If you're like me, you love food. So the point of this is that you want to fuel for fat loss, like I said, and you want to eat as much as possible while losing weight, not as least amount as possible as losing weight, because you can't do that in the long run. You can't do that in a long period of time. I can eat as much as I can and lose weight more than what I can eat as least amount as I can to lose weight, if that makes any sense to you. If not, just go with it, right? Run with it. So that is it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little bit about calories, what they do in your body, and yeah, I hope you learned a little bit. So, but stay tuned for the next video. We're going to talk about macronutrients, why they're important, why you need those 3 macronutrients for a healthy longevity lifestyle. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel. Yeah, and there'll be vlogs coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. So, peace.